Hello, friends, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Viewpoint with Sajal, once again. Uh, of lately, we have covered a couple of videos on what is happening into the Russia and Ukraine war, but now there are things which are actually getting or slipping beyond the hands. Now, people, I'm here to decode what exactly is the main point of contention. I may put something across to all of you which might not look very healthy in terms of U.S.-India relations, or it might also not look very healthy in terms of India-Ukraine relations. So, starting from what is happening and what we have seen, let's decode what is the conflict all about. The conflict is all about the gas pipeline that is running through from Russia towards till Germany, rather. In fact, to many countries in Europe, that is the one factor. The second factor is not only that gas pipeline, but yes, of course, the expansion of NATO. Now, this North Atlantic Treaty Organization was formed against then USSR, which was broken into 15 other countries way back in 1991 without even a bullet being fired. But now the thing is, I mean, these are the designs and patterns of United States of America, though they are in our present day scenario, they might be our strategic partners, but then they do not come to you unless or until they have their own interest. We need to really understand the world order is changing. So the Quad, which comprises of the of United States, the India, Australia, and Japan, it has been already formed only to counter China. India being the major power and one of the major giant in this Indo-Pacific region, which was initially being called the APAC or the Asian Pacific region. So, I mean, it's all about how United States want to serve its purpose, wants to establish its own, dadagiri, and that is how it is. This is all about it. In the very recent conflict, I mean, what did Putin ask for? The Putin asked for the honor that Russia deserved on the World Forum, the security of the borders. I mean, I have heard and which is very logical. A couple of experts as well, which is a very valid point that tomorrow, if China comes and establishes its military base, air base, installs its nukes, not even nukes. Let's not go that way on, but its missiles, the rocket force, the artillery in Nepal or maybe in Bangladesh. How would India react to that? Now, that is the very similar situation with what is happening right now in this conflict of rather it's no longer a conflict, now it's a war. But that is what the main reason behind it. So if at all Ukraine goes ahead and become and be a part of NATO, so the entire NATO war machinery is there on the borders of Russia, which is unacceptable to any sovereign country. So this is what precisely is the key where this all has happened. People, let me also take you back in history, wherein a Monroe Doctrine, Doctrine, which United States has formulated, wherein any country which tries to build its base in the South America. When I say South America, Brazil and Venezuela and the down south part would be dealt with with severity. This is a clear stated Monroe Doctrine is all about. Now, what if Russia, and to the best of my information, I may be incorrect, but then yes, to the best of my information, Russia has already placed its aircraft in Venezuela with hypersonic missiles being deployed onto those aircrafts. So, which means if at all in case of a nuclear war breaks down, so United States, as it is Russia, has the capability of striking any part of the of United States from Moscow. So, but however, they have already. I mean, you take away your Monroe whatever doctrine you might have placed. How does that matter? So this is something which we really need to understand, respect. And today, I mean, if I go back, I mean, I can relate so many things. What actually went in the history in direct connection with India, Pakistan, and China. China was always in the last century was starving. They had no money. They were like on the backbone. They had no backbone at all. Pakistan was one country ever since it gained its independence. It was like an ally to United States with a begging bowl, always and always, and that was the only reason why Pakistan remained there. I still remember during my childhood, maybe in the 80s and 90s, Pakistan was used to be called mini United States. So it was the part of CENTO, CETO, whatever, all sorts of consortiums. I mean, because if you are a beggar like Imran Khan till date is, so you have to serve certain purposes of your masters who are throwing that bones at you. So that was one thing. India always remained non-aligned, be it the First World War, Second World War, be it the Cold War era, and even today from the UNSC and UNGA, both. India has abstained, and not only India from UNSC, there were five countries which have abstained. There were close to 140 or the majority. I mean, votes that were cast against Russia, and today in the UNGA as well, India abstained. So India is following the best possible ever diplomatic diplomacy that could be seen, witnessed, and take my words, in the future, this diplomacy of Narendra Modi and India would be taught in many the big or the biggest of colleges and universities. How you can balance Russia with India, how you can balance China with Russia, how you can balance so-called the OIC countries and the biggest players who are cash rich, who are the owners of the oil and gas, like UAE and Gulf countries, and making them to come and invest in Kashmir. Kashmir remains no longer a point of discussion at the international forum. Now, I'm coming back to the Ukraine war, Russia-Ukraine war. People, let me just give you or remind you on this. Ukraine is one country who has always opposed India in the United Nations. Anytime in the history did we needed support, Ukraine always posted or casted its vote against us. Be it Kashmir issue, be it any possible thing, I mean issue that you may, or the concern or the matter you may even think of. There has not even been a single instance wherein Ukraine stood by India in the United Nations. And today, Zelensky is calling Modi, our dear Prime Minister, to get this sorted and get the ceasefire happen. There are reports that the Indian students are being harassed, they've been strangled, they've been stopped by the Ukrainian army, which is something very, I would say, unacceptable, disappointing, and it is a matter of complete disarray. On the other hand, yesterday itself, PM Modi also did speak with the President Putin, and he ensured that, all right, so any students who would want to walk over towards Russia, they will be given a safe shelter. One more thing, people, this was something which was not, I would say it wasn't surprising, it wasn't shocking at all. There are reports wherein the Pakistanis, or I call them Pakistanis, uh, we have so many lobbies out here in India, so many people, in fact, the entire Lutheran, the Congress, and so many people who toe their line. I don't know whether they're students, because in Pakistan there is no question of in Urdu what we call as ilm. So I don't know for what reasons they were there, but then these guys pretended to be the students, and they did a lot of manhandling with Indian students who were carrying their pride, the national flag, which ensured that they walked throughout the war zone and reached Poland, Romania, and other destinations to be evacuated. So much so that they snatched money. They are bloody robbers. I mean, they know even if they're going back, they have nothing to eat. Inshallah and mashallah would not help them at all. At all. Jihad has shown them what they are up to. So this is what has happened, and it's not only about Pakistan nationals. It's also about Turkish nationals. The reports have clearly suggested, and even we have heard from the students who have gone through all this. Now that was another issue. Besides this, I would really like to applaud and appreciate our government, our Prime Minister, the entire diplomacy, the bureaucracy, Indian Air Force, Air India, SpiceJet, every single institution, department, individual who is engaged in launching and making Operation Ganga a success. Now, once this all, this fog of war sets out, I know what kind of nonsense and bullshit would be given by the opposition in India, who are the most, okay, I should not, call them names, but you can understand what they are. However, I mean, this is one of the most successful, I'm sure it is going to be, it is still underway, so it is going to be the one of the most successful evacuation program that the Indian government is running. Now, one more thing, it's not only for the first time that this kind of an operation has been undertaken. In fact, in 2014, when this government was formed of NDA, the very first evacuation the government carried out and the Indian army carried out was in Kashmir when the floods occurred. And in fact, so much so, we saw that terrorist Yasin Malik being rescued by the army personnel. So that is okay. In the name of humanity, that is what we are doing. My findings, which I want to quickly, just put across, is now this war is going to be a war which will not, for to me it doesn't seem like ending in near future. It'll take some time. It may take some more time. That is one thing. Now, what are the findings? Look, for all these 8 9 days, 8 days of war, what I have been, talking to myself, observing, is that no country would come to your rescue. NATO has done nothing. They have just pumped up this guy, what's his name, the Ukrainian president, and he is still not contented and satisfied. When he, how can he watch his entire country being, converted into what, a graveyard, a junkyard, and that is what is happening. How can your individual ambition could be so strong at the cost of the entire country? And what you're claiming is that we are, whatever I'm doing for my country. No, you're not doing for your entire country. Russia has been warning for last 10 years. They have left no diplomatic channel to ensure and convey their message that any sovereign country would require certain degree of respect and acknowledgement of their concerns, which United States and the Western world has completely, neglected. And this fellow, this comedian, so in the past, now he has been pumped up, and he is the only one made the slaughtered goat, Bali ka Bakra. And this idiot is still not understanding he cannot win from Russia. So much so, no country, not even a single country, can dare to get indulged militarily or boots on grounds in this particular war that is going on. Because then this will lead to a complete devastation. America knows, and it is in the great interest of America if this war continues and continues and continues due to its military warfare shall be sold, then the entire gas pipeline which is coming from Russia through Ukraine and which is catering to 30% of energy needs of the Europe, America want that thing to come to them, and they would make money and supply gas to Europe. So that is the other reason. It is nothing else. It is nothing else. Trust you me, whosoever is watching my video, they are just not interested in what is happening in Ukraine, how many people have died, sorry. And just to quickly remind one more thing, people, if you look back to the history, there is not even a single war which is evident of an American win. You call about Yemen, you call about Afghanistan, you call about Vietnam, you call about Second World War, First World War, you call about Iraq War. Wherever Americans have gone, they have always lost the face. Unlike, unlike the Indian Army, we have got engaged ourselves in 4 full-fledged wars. We won 3. Pakistan was defeated every time. We proudly, and we with a we don't take any kind of, we are not, rather I would put, let me put it this way, we are not hesitant in accepting that yes, we lost the war with China, but we gave a bloody nose to China in 65. And why we lost, that was also this is also something which needs to be introspected. To the best of my available inputs, it was due to the political leadership. So I shall be coming back and putting more videos. However, whatever is happening, so many, I mean, devastation is happening in Ukraine, and I really don't know. People keep asking me, to my opinion, will it turn into a nuclear war or not? Let me tell you, I mean, posturing does happen, positioning does happen, but every country, be it America or Russia or maybe any other country that you may call a name of, everybody knows that nuclear war is something which will be the disastrous for the humankind or the mankind. So, but I cannot completely rule out. However, out of, if you ask me the probability out of 100, not even 10, out of 100, I would give it, point 100 times 0, 1%, which is something you may take it as negligible, in fact, which will not happen because every country knows that, and the entire world know that. Now, for the learning for us Indians and to our government, we really need to be up on our toes in 2 things: bringing up our GDP, economy, and second is acquiring and building the weapons in house under Make in India. You cannot afford to rely on any country, be it doesn't matter for how long you've been friends with them, even with Russia. So, thanks very much for watching this video. Anything that you may want to suggest, or if you disagree with me, you are more than welcome to put across your viewpoints in the comment section. So, I will definitely answer. If you have any questions for me, you can please put them across. I'll definitely take care. So, that's about for me. God save the world, right? So, thanks very much, and I shall catch you later on the other side. Take care.